Hi, I'm David Hardage, Executive Director of the Baptist General Convention of Texas. Thank you for watching today for an interview I had with my friend Brent Edwards, and I'll ask him to introduce himself to you and tell you what he does. Brent?
Well, thank you, David. It is great to be here. You're a dear friend to us and a dear friend to me. And the us is International Commission. International Commission is a global ministry organization that began officially in 1973 as the vision in the heart of our founder, who was a West Texas cotton farmer. And he encouraged his pastor at First Baptist Church Seminole to take a team to go into Mexico. And that birthed what is now called International Commission. And David, having that DNA as part of Texas Baptist is one of the reasons that this is such a meaningful conversation for me. And I appreciate the time to be with you today.
Well, thank you. Of course, who we are as Texas Baptist and what you do with International Commission, they align so perfectly well, and we love the partnership that we have with you all. And this is our opportunity to really introduce our Texas Baptist family and a larger audience to International Commission. So, I know you've got this founding man from Seminole, West Texas farmer. You've got that story. But I think it would be important for people to know exactly what does International Commission do.
Well, thank you. International Commission, very simply, is an evangelism organization. We focus on that. That's our DNA. That's who we are. That's what God has allowed us to do, beginning, again, in one project in Mexico in 1973, after Ben had really been inspired by the river ministry that was going on through Texas Baptist then. Discovered some friends there. He had seen this process done in Japan when he went on a project with Dub Jackson there. Okay. And God said, Ben, you can do in Mexico what you've seen done in Japan. He wanted to go to Mexico because he had fallen in love with Mexican nationals working in cotton fields of West Texas. And so they did. And basically, you can sum up his testimony that he shares with. They kept going further into Mexico, met people they could partner with. And that's the heartbeat of this ministry. We don't go anywhere unless we are invited by pastors in Mexico and then eventually around the world. IC has worked in 182 countries. And in every case, we are invited by the pastors, sometimes one, but most often a group of pastors, to come and work with them in their community and use a process we call Operation Andrew to evangelize in their community.
All right. So as someone who grew up also working in the cotton fields of West Texas, I resonate with all of that. But let me talk a little bit more about the specific way, the specific focus of a mission trip through International Commission. Now, I've been a part of mission trips, construction, discipleship, VBS kinds of things, backyard Bible club kinds of things. But what you all do is different. It is uniquely focused on evangelism. Talk about that just for a second.
That's correct. And I would hasten to say here, those are all good.
Yes, absolutely.
Those are door openers for ministry everywhere we go. And I have been a part of that kind of ministry here and around the world too. But the Operation Andrew process that Ben actually saw at a Billy Graham crusade in 1975 was their way, Dr. Graham's way, and their evangelistic association way of getting to the churches and say, encourage your people to pray specifically by name, friends in the community, family members, whoever it may be, and then prepare to invite them many months later, 6 months to a year, to the crusade that was held in their community. Well, that's where we end our similarities. We have, with their blessing, used that Operation Andrew process of saying, write down names of people that you know that don't know Jesus, and when our team comes to you, then we will go with you, church hosting it, to visit those people, mostly in their homes, sometimes in their businesses, other places. And David, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why. The prayer preparation, people praying them for 6 months to a year before, is the game changer. In fact, many times we hear that people that were written down on a card prayed to receive Christ long before the team got there, because that relationship is being built. It's very similar in concept to what I learned several years ago called friendship evangelism.
Right, yeah.
But it is an intentional process, again, using Operation Andrew, but only doing it with and through the ministry of the local church around the world.
So evangelism is the focus.
Yes.
And so we're having this conversation today for a couple of reasons, and I just want to mention those, at least in my mind. We've been through the past 24 months now, 2 years, where you all taking teams from churches overseas to do evangelism mission trips had to really be pulled back.
Correct.
But I think I'm safe to say you're back.
We're back.
So invite people, tell people how they get in touch with you to explore at least the idea of an evangelistic mission trip through IC.
Well, thank you for that. And it's an easy process. And back in the day, I'll just reference that, many of those teams that went were a team from one local church, sometimes a local association, and again, started in Texas Baptist. Now, because of the internet and because people have gone with us from time to time, they invite their friends in their communities all over the United States just to get online. You can just go to internationalcommission.org and click on Go, and you'll see a place there that will tell you where the projects are this year and beyond. And you just go there and register. We have two main requirements. You have to have an endorsement statement from your pastor, and you have to agree with our doctrinal statement, which actually comes right out of Baptist doctrinal statements from many years ago. And then you're put on a team. You're interviewed by a project leader. Okay. They put you on a team. You express, hey, I'd like to go. Just soon we have teams going to Cameroon, to Albania, to Spain, to Brazil, to Namibia, to Mongolia, and to Jordan, and on throughout the year. There's so many places, and the greatest thing for churches is it's sort of a one-stop shop. I hate to use that.
No, it's what
we
makes
have the connections.
It's what makes you all special.
Yeah.
You don't have to plan anything.
That's right. That's exactly right. Through God's grace, mostly through word of mouth. Again, from one country to the next, from one minister to the next, God has opened these doors all over the world, in every continent except Antarctica. We haven't done a penguin project yet, but
it's coming.
It's coming, perhaps. We have been able to see God place those people in our path who would open the doors to places where Americans can go, and over the last many years, where we can't go. But that's because the American teams have gone. They've connected with people in those areas that can get into an area of that's secure to Americans from the standpoint of Americans going. But they can go and they can lead the project. They can teach them. And that's what we call national to national projects.
That's perfect. So you're back. You're going. Internationalcommission.org.
Internationalcommission.org.
Check that out. The box that says go. Now, the other thing we're talking about today is not only are you back internationally, the pandemic opened up a door of opportunity for you all to do national here in the U.S. mission trips. Talk about that for a second.
That's correct. And the simple little story, and it's true, as I said in my office on that end of that week when the pandemic began to be announced globally, just about 2 years ago in March, my two questions that came on my heart were, God, what do we do? Because we are a global traveling, connecting organization, but also what do we learn? Well, we do reflect all the time. We are a Great Commission organization, the Matthew Great Commission. Right. But I also was thinking through what Jesus also said in Acts 1:8 when he said, first, go to Jerusalem and Judea. We've done pretty well, not said proudly, but God has allowed us to do pretty well with Samaria and the uttermost parts of the earth. And that's going on even right now.
Yeah.
People in places I can't tell you that are ministering the gospel. That's miraculous. But I listened carefully, and he said, now do what you're doing around the world in North America.
Right.
Others were having that same sense, that same inspiration. And so I'm glad to tell you that we're doing exactly that. Started last fall at a project in little communities in southwest Missouri.
Yeah.
And just did a project mostly ministering in homes of Mormon families in Jerome, Idaho.
Wow.
have a project set for Norman, Oklahoma, for Farmington, New Mexico, going and ministering with churches into the Native American population,
Fantastic.
the Navajo nations, and all across the United States and Canada.
So, International Commission, also now North American Commission.
That's
so,
right.
I just gave you that extra name.
There you go.
So you can use it or not.
We can use it.
Well, listen, folks, we are thanking you for watching. And again, Brent Edwards, International Commission. And if you want to focus on sharing your faith and you want to experience that with others around the world or right here in the U.S., North America, please check out internationalcommission.org, and Brent Edwards and his team will help hook you up with that. Any final word to our folks?
No, I just would say not a lot. Just simply say, I referenced Operation Andrew. And when I had the opportunity to go and visit the Billy Graham Museum, and I turned the corner into a room that kind of talked about how they had ministered throughout the years, the first thing I saw was Dr. Graham's phrase, which was the 3 phases of a crusade are pray, pray, pray. And then on around the other side of the room, their version of the Operation Andrew card. And it just reminded me, folks, we don't have anything brand new. The Bible has told us all along, pray for those people that need to hear a gospel message of Jesus Christ. Now we're also with your urging, with your helping, 2 years ago, we were privileged to do a workshop online when you could not have your convention. And that has birthed a whole plethora of training on how to talk with Mormons, how to talk with Muslims, what's happening in contemporary society with the emerging church, and all kinds of things like that have given us some new tools to share with the people across North America to go and tell. It's pretty simple. We say it all the time. You've heard this phrase. The Great Commission is not the Great Suggestion.
Yeah.
We are all called to go.
Amen.
So we hope you will go with us.
Well, listen, Texas Baptist, the Baptist General Convention of Texas, we appreciate and are grateful for our partnership with International Commission. Good days ahead. Thank you all. God bless you.
Thank you.